Hello, good evening. I wanted to come on here briefly to kind of go over a few conversation um, strategies and tactics to avoid going on a dusty date so that you don't have to waste your time. You could take good care of your time and make sure that you are um, spending time with a man that is going to be worth your time. Okay, so I just want to kind of go over a few like conversations because I've been having conversations here and there. Of course, I have this family thing I'm dealing with right now, but I have been having conversations here and there, and I actually like being a little bit difficult. I mean, it really is serving me well. It serves me well to be a little bit difficult. I'm not an easy person to get to. Um, and so that has really protected me from a lot. So I talked to this guy today. Um, he hit me up on the online dating app. I wasn't sure of his ethnicity, but I knew he was South Asian. And and da da da, we're talking a little bit, and then he just was like, "Oh, Friday, I want to take you to such and such restaurant." And I was like, "Oh, okay, um, I'm open to the idea. Let me circle back to you about Friday." And he said, "Okay." And so he hit me up again, wanting to talk to me this evening, and I was like, "Okay, that's fine. We can chat for a bit." So we're chatting, and um, he tells me, he's like, "What do you do?" Did I tell him anything? No, I didn't tell him. And I guess that's my new thing. I don't know. Y'all know I'm always switching it up. My new thing is I don't talk about my profession at all. Not even like a made up one. So, he's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, that's so boring. Let's talk about what do you like to do for fun?" And he's like, "Well, I own these assisted living facilities, and I also own some other medical uh practices and blah blah blah." So I'm like, "Okay, great." I'm thinking to myself, that's good because, you know, that means you probably have money, so that's good. That means that that means we could date, right? So, but I'm not like overly impressed. I think guys like try to tell you this and that to impress you. I'm only like I only feel like, okay, great, that means we can date, but I don't feel impressed by just what it is that you have going on. I wouldn't be impressed until you did something for me specifically, until you actually like gave me something or invested into me. Then I would be impressed. But so yeah, so I didn't ask him, he volunteered this information. So we talk about COVID, blah blah blah, his business, COVID, da 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 da, blah blah blah. We talk about that for a little while, and then he says, "Oh, I'm divorced, and I have kids." And I said, "Are they grown or are they in college?" He said, "Oh, they're I think he said they were both in college." And he said, "Oh, well, that would that be a problem, with the age difference?" And I said, "Well, no, it's fine that your kids are in college as long as you can still afford a girlfriend." Basically, can you afford a girlfriend is what I want to know. I mean, if you can afford a girlfriend and have two kids in college, then I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with them being in school. I just know that college is expensive and children would take the first priority. So only you know if you can have two children in college plus have a girlfriend too. He's like, "Oh, I don't see having a girlfriend as a burden or an expense." And I said, "Well, of course not. If you've got the money, it shouldn't be a burden. It should be easy." And he's like, "Well, I just don't look at it that way. I just don't look at it that way." And And then he's insisting on this restaurant. I'm like, "Well, I don't really like that place." "Oh, well, you haven't gone at night." Or, "Have you been? That's the premier restaurant in this area." "No, I don't really wanna go there. I don't like that restaurant." "Well, they have a band and da 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 da, and they're gonna have dancing, and and you're gonna and it's really nice." "Okay, I really don't like that restaurant." "Well," he was like, "Well, you don't like the food?" I was like, "Well, I don't really I'm not crazy about the food, and honestly, it's kinda loud, and for our first date, I would love to sit and talk to you to get to know you. Something more quiet, something a little bit more slower pace and elegant would be nice." "Well, we can always just step outside on the patio if we need to talk because you really can't hear the." This guy is just trying to shove this restaurant down my throat, and I'm already saying multiple times, "I don't wanna go to this restaurant. I don't prefer this restaurant. I wanna go somewhere else." And then, he brought the whole, like, girlfriends are expensive thing up again, and then, I say to him, I said, "Well, what's important for you? Um, what's important for you in finding a woman, to date and spend quality time with? What's important to you?" And he says to me, "Well, I want a woman who's independent, who is, I think he said something financially stable or something like that, and um, something along those lines. I don't remember exactly." And I said, "When you say independent, do you mean completely not depending on you?" And he was like, "Yes, exactly. I want a strong, independent woman." And I was like, "Ooh, strong, independent, that's my cue to leave." I was like, "Oh, okay, well, um, since you're looking for a strong, independent woman, I'm definitely not the woman for you. So, have a nice night, take care." So, this is the thing. There's just so many different signs. You have to pick up on the nuance. You don't have to end up with a dusty. This guy is a fat Pakistani guy. Oh, another thing he was trying to do was like talk about hookah lounge, and I thought that was so crazy because I think we were talking about hookah lounges in my Discord. Um, Guys wanting to take you to hookah lounges in the Discord, and so yeah, it was just interesting that this guy brought that up. But yeah, he mentioned something about a hookah lounge. The thing that's saying he's dusty is he never asked me what I want to do. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What would make it fun for you? Because even if a dusty has money, a stingy rich man is basically still a dusty. They already have allocated what they want to spend, and they already have allocated what they're willing to do. So they're not going to ask you, "Hey, what do you want to do?" Because it doesn't matter what you want to do. They're not going to do it. He had in his mind this restaurant and that he wasn't willing to budge off of it. And then alternatively he was talking about doing hookah, and that's not a good first date. It's very low budget. It's very low brow. It's not elegant. It's not setting the standard. It's not setting the tone where I intend to set the tone for a very first date. So the answer to that was like, "No, I gotta go. Bye." I don't hesitate. Like, you say the magic word, strong, independent, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not, I'm delicate and dependent. Okay. I'm dependent on the men around me. Okay. I'm not independent. So if you want an independent woman, I'm not the woman for you. Okay. So that was that. And then earlier this week I talked to this guy in a city that he lives outside my city, and he was just 50 something year old white guy. I don't know. I kind of felt like he was trying to bait me into these like intellectual debates, which I don't really like to do. It makes me feel very masculine. I don't know why guys do that, but some guys do that, where they kind of want to kind of like jab back and forth about various topics. and I just didn't want to do that. It just puts you in a place of being very masculine. And then it's like it let's say I defeat him like in a debate. Like, okay, so then are you going to now pay for my dinner or do like I'm so smart I need to pay for my own dinner? You know what I mean? It just really can make the dynamic very weird. And also to me it feels very contentious. I don't I would rather be cooperating with the guy that I'm with. I'd rather be on the same team. I would rather be getting along with him than arguing with him, even if it's a friendly argument, even if it's a, oh, let's talk about controversial topics and you have a very opposing opinion than mine and mine is different than like let's go back and forth debating this. To me, that's not a turn on. It's not fun. It's not attractive. It doesn't seem to really draw men in. I'm not interested in that. So I kind of felt like he kept trying to do that. Anyway, his whole thing was like, "Oh, come to my city, come to my city," and I'm just like, "No, I'm not." He strikes me as low effort, and he was like, "What's your love language?" And that's not a good sign. Typically, that's not a good sign because a lot of times, well, some dusties will try to find out if your love language is gifts, then they already know that they're not going to uh they know things aren't going to go anywhere because they're not going to ever buy you anything. So they'll have to promise you gifts, but they're not going to actually deliver on any of those gifts. Um okay. So yeah. So and then the whole physical thing and da 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 like it's really just a trap. Like it's like what is this and what is that? I'm like, listen, for me it's all about effort. It's all about a man putting in an effort to get to know me, and not just initial Herculean effort at the beginning, but rather a sustained effort to get to know me, a continued, sustained effort. That is what attracts me to a man. His effort and resources investing into me. And he just was trying to pigeonhole me into this whole love language thing, which I'll do another video about buzzwords. Hopefully, they can come back to my mind about specifically which buzzwords guys use to pretend to be emotionally available when they're really not. They really just use those buzzwords as a tactic of a manipulation. And if you're not hip to the game, you'll think they're more emotionally evolved than what they really are. But it's really just all buzzwords and for the purposes of manipulating. Okay, so he is not blocked or unmatched or anything, but it's just I wouldn't do anything with it. There's nothing that I can do with that. Nothing I can do with that. Um, oh, there's another Indian guy. Um, he he and I started talking and he was kind of a little bit um vulgar. He was like, "Well, I want to do this and I want to do that, and if I do this and if I do that, then I get to do this." And I'm just like, "Listen, first of all, back it up, slow it down, and and then since you want to just be all blatant and blunt, what is your monthly budget for dating? Since we're just being blunt with one another." So we chat a little bit about that. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about that. I'm rich. I have this. I have that. Don't worry about that. I don't have a problem, you know, giving you whatever you want." I'm like, "Okay." We have a little chat and maybe like 5-minute chat on the phone, well, through the app. Or no, 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 no. I called him with my number blocked because I don't give out my number before the first date. So we chat some more on the app, and he wanted to do video. I'm like, well, we could do a video date, or we could meet in person. But I don't just randomly video men who I'm not formally dating. He's like, okay, well, video. Okay, video's fine. I need you to send me flowers and lunch because it was lunchtime, and he's like, I'm rich. I have this, I have that. Uh, Let me see you. And if I like you, then I'll take you on a date. And then you'll get a date in chocolate. Like, bro, the fuck? No, you're gonna give me money inside of a wallet. What the hell is wrong with you? No, I'm not like I don't audition. Okay. I don't audition for anything. So if you want to do the video date, you will send the flowers and the lunch. The bottom line, you will buy a gift certificate for the Postmates or whatever, and you'll send it to me. And I don't just don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into the trap of let me see, let me experience you. Then once I experience you, I'll give you something. No, that's not how this works. You give it to me first. Okay, that's the exchange. You give it to me first, and that is for my time and my feminine presence. Like, you're not about to be like, "Oh, let me see you on the video, and then on a later date at a later time, then I will do something for you." No. So the answer to that is no. And then he's like, "Oh, you're gonna miss out on a rich boyfriend." First of all, you're probably lying. Okay, that's highly likely. And second of all, you're cheap. If you have this and you have that, but you can't spend, what would it have been? It would have been around 60 or 70 bucks on lunch. You would have spent 60 or 70 bucks if I was seeing you in person. You would spend probably way more than that, once you start getting appetizers and drinks and everything like that. So really, it's still cheaper to do a video date, but it's not free. It's not free. Because I think so many ladies end up giving so much at the beginning, and they're like, oh my God, how did I end up in a dusty situation? Well, I think a lot of times they start out dusty, sometimes in subtle ways, sometimes in not so subtle ways, but dusty nonetheless. So he ended up, I left him on red pretty much all day. And because he was kind of like, we'll come on the video tomorrow. Uh, and let me see and da 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 and it's up to you. Don't let don't let a good thing go or something. I don't know. He got left on red and then he ended up just eliminating himself from the pool because I just ultimately I'm not going to shift past what I'm doing. I have to remind myself that I'm a little bit difficult but not impossible. And the things that I ask for are very tangible. They are of substance, but they're not unreasonable. Nothing that I ask for is unreasonable. It is not unreasonable for you to bring flowers and lunch when you're trying to impress a woman on a first date. That is not unreasonable. That is very reasonable. What kind of man would not spend $70 on a first date with a woman? A man who has a low opinion of her, or he's just dusty, hot ass mess, or he don't care about her. She's not his preference. She's a time filler. She's a space filler. She's something in the meantime, between time. She's just around. He's curious. He's bored. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to fall into any of those categories. You want to fall into the category of the guy highly desires you and he's highly motivated to do for you and to impress you and to be on good behavior and to control himself, to self regulate himself around you because you are someone who he highly desires. So I talked to this guy today. I talked to another guy, an Indian guy, and I actually talked to him longer than what I normally do because normally for like a call, I try to keep it between 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes maximum. But I ended up talking to him a little bit longer because he actually doesn't live in my city. He lives far away. So I was like, so basically if we have a date or it yeah, I'll say if not when. If we ever have a date, it won't be like in in the very, very near future, in the fact that he cannot travel here this weekend. But he kind of made mention in the text, like, "Oh, come here. It'll be so great for us to have our first date in the city." And I'm like, no. I follow biology, okay? The sperm chases the egg sits there looking great and being great, and the sperm find it. So I'm not, no, I'm not. You come to me, basically. And he was like, "Okay, yeah, I understand. I like that analogy." And so when we were talking, you know, I don't really like to get in the whole like interracial this, interracial that, because a lot most of the guys that I date, it does not really come up in the beginning. Um, Guys do not make a big deal about it. And in fact, maybe this is a sidebar, but I find that guys that make a big deal about it, they're not good targets. Guys who have like weird, like, oh, I only like black women, or I only like, guys who have that kind of weird energy, I find that those are not good targets. The better targets are the men who are like, I date beautiful women and I'm dating you because you're beautiful. That's better. That's a better target than a guy who has like a bunch of like energy around race. But anyway, I don't know how we ended up getting to talk about it, like, you know, dating experiences and stuff like that. But, he was like, "Well, have you dated Indian guys?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have." He's like, "Well, what happened?" And I was like, "Well, blah, blah, blah. Indians are accused of being cheap. That is an accusation and a stereotype. But, for me, I found it to be true in many instances. And so, it does affect things." And he was like, "Oh, well, I don't have a problem with whining and dining you and doing whatever." And basically, he wants to come out here, or at least so he says. I'll believe it when he's here. But basically, like, I told him I don't like cheap dudes. Basically, I mean, that's basically what I said. I don't like cheap dudes. I like to go to nice places. I like nice gifts. Because I told him, I said, well, this one Indian guy, I dated him for a while. He went out of town and brought me chocolates, and I wasn't satisfied with that. And he was like, "Oh, that's messed up. That's all he got you?" And I said, "Yeah." It's like, "No, that wasn't right." Exactly. Because I don't want to beat around the bush. I don't want to pretend to be this humble, meager, down to earth, low maintenance. I'll tell you, no, I'm high maintenance. I like nice stuff. I like doing nice things. I like nice restaurants. I like my man to do this and that. I try to be as graceful yet direct and disclosing as quickly as possible. And the reason why I want to talk about it as quickly as possible, as tactfully as possible, is because I want them to weed their own selves out. I want them to, actually. So all these conversations, all the yada yada yada, okay, there's only one guy standing. One guy standing. Look, and he can't say I didn't know. I already told him what it is. I like nice stuff. I like going to nice places. I don't like cheap dudes. He's like, "Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, I understand. I know I'm." He's like, I'm prudent with my expenses, with my finances, but I don't mind spending. I don't mind spending on a good time, especially when I'm with a woman I want to be with." Okay, perfect. Perfect. You see, you have to sift through the rubble. You have to sift through the rubble to get to the some situation that's going to work for you. So don't waste your time on dust. Imagine if I was still going back and forth with dust, trying to convince. I don't sit up here trying to convince nobody, oh, you got to do this for me. You got to do you will if you want to, then you will, and if you don't, you don't. Well, I don't want to go there, and I don't want to do this, and you well, let me go on and meet him, and then once he sees me, then he'll change his mind, and he'll no, no, no. We're not doing. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. It's not a good use of time. It's not a good, use of time. If I was doing all that with the Dusties, I would have missed the guy that wants to just already just know what it is. He already knows what it is. He already knows, and he already is ready to, you know, impress me. So I would have missed out. If I would have been preoccupied with dust, I would have missed out on the better option, the better man. And as far as the one who's like, "Oh, I own this and I own that," he probably does, but he's cheap. Those are the kind of guys who want favor. They want perks of being wealthy, right? They want you to be impressed by them. They want you to ooh and ah. They want you to envision yourself with their stuff without them giving you anything. So you have to be careful for people who lead with, "Oh, this is my career," or this is my business," or "this is what I do and I'm so wealthy, but I want to take you to Starbucks, or I want to take you to this cheap restaurant or a hookah lounge, and I want you to be strong and independent." The two, it just doesn't make sense. So they want to sort of lure you in or get you to listen to them because the reason why he said that right away, he knows he's fat. He knows he's overweight and a little and unattractive. So he needs to immediately say, "Hey, I own 7 businesses and another thing. This da 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 da." He knows he has to say that so that he don't get hung up on. He knows that. But then now that I got you on the line, he's like, "Now that I got you on the line, this is what I want to do. I want to take you to a low budget experience, and I need you to be strong and independent, and not depend on me for anything." Like, no. That's why the last Indian guy got cut. Like, bro, no, we're not fenced to do this. No, no, no. I'm not doing that. Like, I don't know what the women in your culture do. Maybe they are frugal. That's fine. I'm American. Okay. I'm American. So I'm not with that. Either you're going to share the resources with me or you can go, pretty much. Because you're not about to suck up all my time that I cannot get back as a woman, and you're not sharing your resources with me. Like, why are you here? Again, you know, if I wanted to be in a broke situation, I would go get me a 30-year-old fine ass Dusty and be somewhere broke with him. I go to the gym and pick any Dusty I want. Some Dusty that's ripped and muscle bound and everything else. If I want a broke experience, that's what I would do. I could just go to any gym around here and pick the Dusty I want. But I'm with you, who is short and overweight, because you need to share your resources with me pretty much. And if you don't, I'm out. I gotta go. It was nice knowing you. Bye. What is a good way to keep in touch with men who are at the location of where I'm traveling for business next month? Travel mode, sissy, travel mode, my love. Get travel mode. Um, are you on the Discord? If you're on the Discord, ask me that same question in Discord and I can answer more specifically. Um, someone who has a low balance account. uh, don't let a good yeah, I was totally manipulative, sissy, when he was like, "Don't let a," he was like, "Don't let your rich boyfriend go." I'm like, "Boy, shut up. If you're so rich, uh, if you're so rich, you would give me the money for the flowers and for the lunch. Like, get the hell out of here. Never allow male to choose me. I do the choosing. I'm never grateful." Ah, intelligent banter is different from intellectual debates. Debates are equivalent to arm wrestling with him. Way too masculine, not my thing. Yeah, I felt really gross with that. I didn't like it at all. I really didn't like it at all. There's another guy who was like, "Oh, the other week, oh, I'm on a private jet to Vegas. Meet me here." I hate dudes that do that shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, this is 2021, human trafficking and everything else. What makes you think I'm about to meet you and go anywhere with you? No. And so now he like, "Well, drive down here. I'll come down here." I'm like, "You can fly me there, or you can come here." I don't drive. I don't like driving. I don't do road trips, period. I do not do road trips. I fly everywhere. So the answer is no. But if you want to come out here, "Oh, well, I'm going to be here on this day. If I make it out there, then I'll just hit you up." Listen, that's not going to work. Okay. If you want to go out with me on Tuesday, next Tuesday, you will have had to already make arrangements with me. Then furthermore, you need to make dinner reservations ahead of time. So, no. You're not gonna hit me up on Tuesday talking about you want to see me on Tuesday. I don't do that. I don't care if you say you have a private jet. I don't give a shit. "Oh, I'm a CEO of da 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 da." That's fine. That's great. I don't make exceptions to the rules. This is how I operate. Whether you're old, young, white, black, Asian, I don't care. You want to go out with me, you make prior arrangements and you call and you make dinner reservations. That's how this is going to go. Or it's not going to go. I'm not like, "Oh, he has the money. Oh, let me just act crazy and run around like a chicken with my head cut off because he got some money." No, it's not my money. It's yours. So it's nothing to like, and I'm not about to bend my standards because you say you have money. I don't care about that. Not until it's transferring over to my account. Then I'll care a little bit more. So anyway, he's just sitting around in the inbox, like, just, I'm not, moving on. I'm not gonna, there's nothing for me to do. You already know the task at hand. If you come through and you do it, you come through and you do it. There's this other guy who I was supposed to go out with. Speaking of Tuesday, I was supposed to go out with him on Tuesday. He actually made reservations at a nice restaurant, but ultimately I decided I didn't want to go because I was tired, and the family thing and just everything that it would take for me to get there. It would take a lot. It would take me I have to, like, it would have just taken a lot of orchestration, like getting my daughter early from school, taking her to her aunt's house, coming home, getting dressed, doing my makeup, hair, making sure my nails are on point, um, lashes, everything, going down there, valeting, going to it just was a lot. It would have been a lot. And it's like all that for dinner with an old man. Like, I just didn't have the prospects that he can keep it up. You understand? So it wouldn't have been a good investment. Literally, it would have just been a meal. And the way I work things out in my head is this: for the sake, okay, so I have to pay parking or valet. I have gas, driving to and fro, right? And By the time we say parking and gas, that's probably going to be about 40 bucks. I could just order Uber Eats and stay inside my house and I don't have to go nowhere. So it's actually cheaper for me to stay home than me to go meet you for dinner. You understand? Like, it doesn't like, I couldn't make it make sense in my head. Furthermore, uh, this is I'm likely not going to lead anywhere. I don't really think you have the resources to sustain a thriving dating experience with me. So this is probably going to be like the best there is from this. And I just went ahead and canceled that like early in the morning. Or yeah, was it? I think it was that same day, or maybe the day before. Might have been that Monday that I canceled. Or no, I don't remember. Yeah, maybe it was Monday. And he was like, "Well, I would like to go to the zoo, the aquarium, or shop and look around, and then dinner, or go to a park and then dinner." So that confirmed my feeling that it was gonna get dusty. You understand? It confirmed my feeling. I smell dust. I smell dust up in here. I know you booked this five-star restaurant, but I really believe that this is going to be the best that you ever do. I really do. Like, and I think that you might be spending your rent money on this restaurant to go out with me. You know what, sir? Keep your rent money. Just keep that rent money, okay? Go on and keep that in your pocketbook because I I'll stay home. I don't want to take your rent money. I really don't. Because those other things that he said, it got real dusty up in chair. Okay. Uh, bum. I like men who like a variety of women. I mean, guys are already matched with. I love intelligent men, but not back and forth debating. Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't like back and forth debating. I really don't. I prefer not to do that. I'd rather be getting along with a man than arguing with him. I don't like arguing. Hey, BH. Hey, Sissy. Hey, Kiss by Dark Skin Hypergamy. Hey, Sissy. Hey, Roa. Hey, girl. Hey. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I'm just doing this little impromptu sort of rundown of different conversations that I've been having this week. Yeah, because I went out last weekend. Oh, I'll tell y'all that guy that I met freestyling. Um, we were supposed to go out. Well, it's not that even that we were supposed to go out. We had discussed the possibility of going out last weekend, but he didn't make dinner reservations. Because it's like basically like you're gonna have to get on the phone with like a concierge at this point because all the reservations are gone, like gone. You have to call and see if anybody can pull any strings for you or get on a wait list or something. But everything is booked in my city. So he never called me about making dinner reservations. He never made arrangements like, oh, what time or come here, da 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 da. These are where we're gonna have, and then we're gonna go do jazz and blah blah blah. He never did any of that. So he texted me a couple days ago. He says, "Did I lose you?" And I said, and I text back almost. And so he's like, "Can you call me?" And I said, "Sure." And so, or no, he said, "Can I call?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So he called, we talked, and he's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Well, we never had reservations, so we didn't have a date." "Oh, well, I didn't know. I thought we talked about it." Well, I said, "Yeah, we did, but we never had a date. We never had time. We never had reservation." He said, "Oh, well, maybe you're right. I'm sorry. I really messed up. I'm sorry." I said, "Okay, I understand, I hear you." And he's like, "Well, I got to go out of town this day, but I'll be back probably Saturday, Sunday. I'll give you a call." I said, "Oh, interesting." I said, "Well, you're welcome to call, but just to let you know, if you're expecting to go out on a date with me, either Saturday or Sunday, you will have had to make arrangements in the week, and we need reservations. Oh, you want it? Yeah, I do. That's how I work. Okay, well, blah blah, and we got a phone, and I pretty much knew I'm too much for him. He's a very low effort kind of a guy, and maybe I don't know if it's me, I'm not his type. That's possible. That's possible because it, a guy will keep you around even if you're really not his type, even if you really aren't who he sees himself with long term, or even if he doesn't see you as someone who deeply inspires and motivates him and he's highly attracted, like close to his dream woman. He'll keep you around if it's easy. If you're easygoing, low maintenance, low budget, uh last minute, it doesn't require anything special of him. You'll Netflix and chill. You'll do low budget, broke dates. They'll keep you around for as long as you're willing to tolerate their low effort. Now, when you start saying, "Well, I'm ready for this, and now I want that, and what's my title?" and I want, then they might ghost you. But as long as you'll tolerate as long as you'll tolerate their low effort, they will keep you around, and they'll keep around you as long as you will let them. As long as you let them. If it's low maintenance and it's easy, they'll stay around in the peripheral, hitting you up. What do you WYD? What do you WYD? WYDing you to death. Good morning, beautifuling you to death, as long as you allow it. But yeah, that's what he thought he was gonna do, and I was like, skirt, skirt. No, we will not do that. No, it's not happening. I don't operate like that. That's why that not that many people get to the finish line, and that's why not that many people even get to sit across the dinner table with me. Low effort men never get to sit across the dinner table with me. Never. They don't have me on their arm. They don't get my time. They don't get my attention. Low effort men do not get attention from me because I am repulsed by low effort men. It's gross to me. It literally, like, it repulses me. So I'm only attracted to men who put in effort and they're willing to put in effort and resources. That's it. That's all. That's the only kind of guy that I'm attracted to. That's the only type of man that I respond to. Dusties and low effort dudes get blocked or they get left on red, or I just don't pay attention to them. Now, I might need to do a separate live about a narc that I resurrected because I was like, I'm going to call him because he was generous with me when we did date back in the day. Well, a couple of years ago. He was generous with me, but he was kind of like, he wasn't kind of, he's like very narcissistic. So I just kind of cold turkey stopped talking to him. But I was like, oh, I'm so much better at dealing with narcissists. I think I can handle it now. But I don't think so. He's a trash bag bandit. He spent most of our date talking about single moms and just ratchet, stupid shit. And just, he's a trash bag bandit. So, um, now we did go to this really nice restaurant and spend a lot of money. I mean, yeah, we spent a lot of money. Well, he did. He spent a lot of money at the restaurant. But just he has money, but he's still a trash bag bandit. But I'll probably have to do a whole nother live on him just separately. But yeah, he's been oh my, I just have to tell you, he talking about he wants a wife. I'm like, no, you don't. Black men always say that though. Black men always say, I want a wife, I want a wifey. They just say that to string black women along because they know that's what black women want to hear, but they don't have any intention of that. They don't have any intentions of that. I never dated anyone, but I'm working on my degree, self-improvement and such. Then again, I live in a region where most of the men love getting stuff for free. I just focus on myself. Ma'am, don't do that stuff with narcs. At times they are dangerous. Yeah, no, I could like this guy, I could picture him having a domestic violence. And in fact, after our date, I did look him up, like in the counties. I looked him up in different counties to see if I could find anything on him because his vibe does give me that he might be like domestic violence. Yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't worth it. He's just a trash bag bandit pretty much. He's got that dusty ass mentality, that dust bucket mentality. Like, even though he has money, he thinks he's the prize. He doesn't have the best hygiene. He never has, even from when we used to date back in the day. He doesn't have good hygiene. And yeah, what can I say? Trash bag bandit. So um he's not blocked. In fact, he never was blocked. I don't think I ever blocked him. He's not blocked now. I'm not proactively reaching out about anything. I was thinking he could help me move or give me another car, but I don't think it would be worth it. I don't think it whatever is necessary for me to get a car from him, I don't think it's worth it because he's just too much of a trash bag bandit. I just can't. I know my limits and I know I can't. You know what I learned from that situation is to trust yourself. I had already made a decision a long time ago. He's too malignant. He's too malignant. And I backed all the way off. And then here I am now going back on the decision that I already made. Like, oh no, let me see if he'd be willing to, help me get a car or help me move or both. And he probably could do both, but he's so malignant. I just, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Um, Sunny Side Up said, "How do you think you are the prize when you have bad hygiene?" Because he's a black man. That's why. I remember our last date from whenever I stopped talking to him. I don't think he brushed his teeth. I don't think he brushed his teeth for that date. I really don't. I don't know if he changed his clothes. I don't know if he had those clothes on yesterday, like the day before. And this man is a millionaire, like certified. He's a certified millionaire, and he doesn't smell good. He does not smell good. So I'm like, whatever it would take to get the car, I don't think it's worth it. Overblown ego, yeah. Yeah, the black male worshiping culture says he's the prize. Whether he has good hygiene or not, he's the prize. They all think that they're the prize. Y'all, I got some screenshots for y'all. Oh my lord. I got a trash bag bandit in my inbox now. Talk about he want to ride or die. I haven't blocked him because I want to screenshot it and I want to share it with y'all. I want to share this dysfunctional ass shit with y'all. Now, this is a guy who would be considered a good black man on paper. I think he's an attorney or something. This is the so-called good black man. This is the so-called good black man. Oh, this is the type of black man you need to aspire for. This is the type of black man you need to get. You need to stay away from these these thugs and these da 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 da. But the good black man is talking about he want to ride or die. The good black man. I said when I saw that bandit in my inbox, I said, "Oh yeah, let me screenshot this and share this with the ladies." let me share this with the ladies, and it'll be up for everybody else who don't want to understand that these bandits are all the same. They're all the same. Good, bad, degree, no degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees. They be having the same dusty mentality. The same dusty mentality. Girl, yes, his ass talking about he want to ride or die. I wonder if I could click off. I'm on my phone right now, for the stream. But shoot, if I could click over and find that message, I would. But I have so many screenshots. Y'all, I got a screenshot of this dude talking about he a alpha. He got an alpha t-shirt on in one shot. And then on another one, he looking like a whole fruit basket, and he got earrings in his ears, and he looked like he got a filter on, like he got foundation on. I'm like, oh Lord, alpha where? Y'all be funny. Y'all be confused as hell about what the hell y'all want to do and who y'all are. Y'all are so confused. I need to curate all these screenshots. Like, I have such a database of bandit screenshots. It would be like you would be so amazed and how and you laugh for days upon days. This one bandit sent me a message. I don't know if I screenshot it. I don't know. He sent me a message and I ignored him. And then maybe like a week later, or maybe no, not even a week, a few days later, he texted me, he emailed me again on the site. He was like, what's wrong with you? I don't bite. And I'm like, I don't know that. Shoot, one of these bandits tried to bite this lady's eye out in New York. How do I know you don't bite? Like, no. So I can't ignore you. I have to just all the way block you because you didn't catch the hint. I don't want to talk to you. You didn't catch the hint. No, I'm not interested in that. I just stay blocking, block, block, blockity, block, blockity, block. My Blockiana game is on 10. But it's like it takes so many steps to block. Sometimes you just want to ignore and swipe left and keep it moving. But sometimes people don't take the hint and they just continue to message you. Ride or die doesn't give much return on investment, much less giving to someone who won't ride or die for you. Ride or die is stupid. Any man that's looking for a woman to ride or die, he has a dusty mentality. A man should be looking for a woman to protect her and to provide for her, not for her to ride and die. Shit, why you want your wife to ride and die? Who gonna take care of your children? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna take care of your legacy if she riding and dying? No, 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 no. A man who wants you to ride and die, he don't love you. He don't love you like that. If he'll put you in harm's way, he don't really love you like that. That's dusty. That's trash bag bandit mentality right there. You want a woman to build you up, and you 40 something years old, you ain't built by now? You should have been built by now. You want unconditional love? Your mama should have gave you unconditional love. Your mama and them. Your mama and them. Your wife give you conditional love. These mofos do not want to just accept reality. They be wanting to just create their own reality. And that's not just black bandits, white bandits too. Well, y'all need to love unconditionally. And what about, man, if you don't get out of here with that shit, your mom loves you unconditionally. Nobody else will. Just accept that. Everybody else love with conditions. You sit up here and you stop sleeping with your man and watch how fast he get up out of that relationship. Cause why? He's loving you on condition that you're physical. Okay? Everybody have conditions on the love. I remember that she refused them and they chased her down and she left, attacked her. Yeah. I'll never there's certain things that just stick in your mind. You'll never forget them. There's certain cases that you will never forget, you know? The lady that got killed at her baby shower after her I think it was after the baby shower or before the baby shower, you know? And that makes me think like I knew this woman who had gone through a domestic violence situation with a trash bag bandit and um this is the thing about mammies. Mammies and pygmishas are very dangerous to have around you, especially when you're in a domestic violence situation. So basically, this woman was going to be giving birth to this trash bag bandit's baby, and I believe that it was one of the pygmishas that let him know that she was at the facility because he showed up. He showed up at the facility, after she had and was waiting outside. And honestly, I would have called the police. She had a restraining order. I was, not around. But if I was around, I would have called the police because he violated the restraining order. These pickmeshas and mammies don't understand how dangerous. It's a life or death situation. That man rolled up to that woman's baby shower and murdered her because she didn't want to be with him anymore. Don't you, mammies and pickmeshas don't understand. When you're leaving a domestic violence situation with a trash bag bandit, the most dangerous time for a black woman is when she's trying to leave. That is when the most fatalities and serious injuries happen. But a mammy will call the bandit and tell him where you are. That's why you have to stay away from them. They will tell the bandit where you are. Oh, well, she just had the baby. Come on up here and see your child. This your child too. I can't believe she keeping the baby from you. Not realizing that he almost killed her a few months ago when she was pregnant with said child. You stupid son of a. Oh, don't give me the cursing, but oh, I can't stand when mammies put black women in jeopardy, put their lives in jeopardy, and black children and black women because they're so blind and ignorant and self-destructive. They have no sense of preservation. Therefore, there's no way they can preserve you. I knew it was one of the mammies that probably called and told him that she was there. How else would he know? We had a plan. Don't post on social media. Don't tell anybody. It was a very strict circle of people who knew. It had to have been one of the mammies in the inside that tipped him off. Had to have been. Becoming pregnant with a dusty is a very with a dusty's child is a very dangerous time for black women. For narcissists in general, because um you are no longer able to be their mother because now you're somebody else's mother. And when they lose your mothering, you're not able to fully mother them the way you were. Yes, they can become very violent. I've seen this. They can become very violent, and also just basically just throwing little tantrums and acting a fool. I've seen this up close and personal multiple times in real life. I've seen it happen. Those are the key terms. When you hear it, you run. Oh no, this is why you have to vet those guys' characters out. So terrible, and they ran and left after she got shot. Oh, the pregnant woman? Yeah, that was really sad. I mean, that's just one of those cases that you'll just never forget. I'll never forget it. It'll always be etched in my mind. Always. Just so heinous. So heinous and savage. So heinous. So yeah, y'all, avoid dust, okay? Create some standards that's going to make you a little bit difficult to get to. You don't want to be too easily accessible. Anybody can just roll up and get your time and attention, you know. Maybe maybe you don't necessarily need like a trip to the moon or, something of that nature, but have some standards in place. Have a process. Create a process that's going to work for you. I think I have a live schedule where we'll just talk about creating standards, but that is the best protection from dust. Standards. Standards will protect you from dust. When you don't bend on them, and you do things a certain way, you have a process that where you have to feel comfortable. Because that was another thing, like when the guy who was pressuring me about the video date, he's like, well, I need to feel comfortable with this and I need to feel comfortable with that. I'm thinking in my head, listen, you're the man. You should be wanting to make me feel comfortable, right? You're only seeking your own comfort. You should be trying to make sure that I'm comfortable. I'm the woman in the situation. I'm the one who's more vulnerable. I'm the one who's more delicate. I'm the one who's you know, just more vulnerable in general. You're the man. You have more strength than I do. You're more self-serving than I am. You know what I'm saying? More manipulative and all of that. You should be wanting to make me feel comfortable as a woman. So that's another sign. Dust and run. There's dust, so go. Those are the key terms. When you hear it, run. I wonder what I said a few minutes ago because the chat is a bit delayed. So I don't know what I said that exactly was a key word that you would run from dust. I don't remember. But yeah, I just encourage you to have some requirements, some standards in place for the dating process so that you don't end up in dusty situations. Because it really does baffle me sometimes to hear, not necessarily on the Discord, but in other venues and other, venues that I'm in, women like, oh, well, how do I get this guy to do this? And how do I get this guy to do that? And why won't he? I'm like, you got the wrong target. You're trying to squeeze juice from a rock. You got the wrong target. You need to find a better target. You're not going to get what you want from this guy. Find a different target. Or oh, I ended up going out and then and that's not what I wanted to do and it was da da da, or he wants to go and sit at the park. How do I get him to do this? Or how did you end up in a dusty situation? Or going places and only Dusty's talk. Well, this Dusty started talking to me and da da da. Girl, how? Listen, you control your time. You control your energy. So direct it in where you want it to go. You can do that. You do not have to be dealing with dust. I just think that you should nip it in the bud as quickly as possible. Just don't even go there. Just like don't even go. Listen for those buzzwords. Take those cues. Is he trying to make you feel comfortable? Is he trying to plan to do something to impress you? Not say things to impress you, but telling you what he's going to do to impress you. He doesn't have to say, "Hey, I want to do this to impress you." But obviously, if he's like, "Oh, well, wherever you want to go, or what do you like? What type of cuisines do you like?" Um, those kinds of things, where he's being attentive to you, and from the beginning. Like, don't get in a shitty situation and think that, oh, once he falls in love with me, he's gonna start treating me good. Well, once he sees what a great person I am, then he's going to do better. Once he sees how beautiful I am, he's going to step up his game. Don't set yourself up for failure. In my experience, okay, in my experience, some of the best dating partners that I've had, they've been so accommodating from the beginning. They've been attentive from the beginning. They've been um all of that, like attentive, accommodating, wanting you to feel comfortable, wanting to impress you from the beginning, from the very beginning interactions. So you don't have to invest your energy, your feminine energy initially and hope for a big payout. You need to be doing even exchanges along the way. Okay? Hear me when I say you need to be doing even exchanges along the way. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where you're proving something to a dude that, you know, dangling carrots and, oh, well, I just need my future wife to, I just need to live with my future wife so I can see what she going, how she gonna do, and I need, we gonna build together and all this type of stuff. So I just need to know that she loved me for me, and and she showed me that she loved me for me by paying half this rent and half these bills, and then I know, whatever. He will be stacking up his money, leveling up on your ass while you busting your ass, cooking, cleaning, and being intimate with him and working and doing everything else. He's sitting up here doing the bare minimum, paying half the bills and stacking up his money and probably seeing somebody else on the side. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be that lady. So avoid dust from the beginning. Listening between the lines. How am I doing? I'm doing better. Thank you for asking, Domo. I'm doing better. I still have a family issue that's going to be ongoing for a little while. And so, but I have reached out to for support. I've reached out to, I've just reached out to for support in that area. So everything is moving forward in that area, and it's not over. It's not going to be like a one solution. It's going to be like an ongoing, you know, support system to remedy and or at least bring to peace that situation. So thank you for asking. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, beautiful people. Y'all have a lovely night slash morning. Y'all sleep well, and we'll talk soon. Peace. Oh, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Mhm.